Quitters! Welcome to your TV classroom. Today is Thursday, January 21st. I had to do a little math in my head there because it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. So, how was your night last night? How are you feeling today? What's your zone? How am I feeling today? I'm pretty calm and happy. I'm good to go. I'm feeling in the green zone. There's no real reason for it. I'm just feeling okay. How are you doing? Make sure to share that with someone around you. It could be a learning buddy, a pet, an adult, another student, a sibling. Share your feelings. It's important. Today is What's Missing Thursday. Now, I know every time we do this, I talk about this, but it's so important that when you're trying to figure out something that's missing, the first step is not to go, oh no, I don't know, it's too hard, I can't figure it out. That's what your brain wants to do. But you're a strong mathematician and you do know some things because you know the secret code of multiplication. So we're gonna figure out what we do know to help us figure out what we don't know. Are you ready? Let's take a look. It says blank groups of 9 equals 27. What do we know? We know that there's 9 in each group. Whoops, I need a pen so that you can see it. That would be helpful. We know that there's 9 in each group. And we know that the total is going to be 27. So how do we figure it out? Yeah, you start skip counting by 9 and figure out how many 9s make 27. You might also know this fact. Do you know the fact of 9, which has a product of 27? Yes. What is it? Yeah, 3 groups of 9 is the same as 27 because 2 groups of 9 is 18 plus 9 is 27. So you can do it. Okay, what do we know? We know we're going to have groups of 5 and a total of 40. Well, 5, 10, 15, 20. Wait a minute. If 4 groups of 5 is 20, then how many groups of 5 is 40? Just double it. It's 8. 8 groups of 5 is 40. See how when you figure out what you already know versus focusing on I don't know, how it makes the problem lift off the page and helps you to understand it. Okay. What do we know? We know that we have groups of 2. And those groups of 2 have to equal 50. Think about money. If I have 50 cents and I split it into 2 groups, what coins can I use? Quarters, which is how much? 25. Very good. Okay. This is one of those odd factors with an odd product, which means we know the other factor is going to be odd. And these are the hard ones. So we know we have groups of 7. Which fact has a product of 49 with an odd factor? Well, we can do 1. We know it's not 1. 3. We know it's not 3. 5. We know it's not 5. It's 7. 7 groups of 7 is the same as 49. See how when you take inventory of your brain and what you do know, you can figure out what you don't know. And you can do it pretty quick. Yeah, great. It's best to have it memorized. But if you don't have it memorized yet, you don't need to feel like, ugh, I can't do math. I don't have my facts memorized. No, we don't do that here. You are a strong mathematician. And if you don't know the fact yet, it's yet. You don't know it yet. And you have strategies to solve it. And pretty soon, the more and more you use that strategy, the more and more your brain's going to create a pathway. And that pathway is going to get really deep. And then you're going to know the fact. Okay? Trust me on that. So it's not I don't know. It's I don't know yet, and I have tools to help me. Last one. How many groups of 6 make 36? Who remembers my little Do you remember? Yep. 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 groups of 6 is 36. Well, how would I know that if I didn't have it memorized? Well, I know 5 groups of 6 is 30. And one more group of 6 is 36. Ta-da! Now, today we're going to be learning more about using square units to measure the area of rectangles and non-rectangle shapes. Mrs. Wally, we just started talking about rectangles. Now you're telling me we're going to be doing it with don't worry. Just follow along with me. It's going to be great. Okay? So, what is the area of this rectangle? Look, they gave us a square unit. So what do we need to do? Count them. Here's the rectangle. I'm going to do my best to stay on the line, but it's hard to do on a touch screen. And I want to know the area of that rectangle. How many square units are there? Well, there's 2. I wrote that on the wrong place. There are 2 rows of 4 units, right? This side is a unit. The whole thing is a square unit. So 2 groups of 4 is 8, or you could count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 square units. Both ways are correct. There isn't a better way. Choose the way that works best for your brain. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you're only using multiplication to find the area. But you don't have to use multiplication right now. You can just count them. It says, look at square A. I moved it from the right down here so I could make it a little bigger. Look at square A. Use an inch ruler to measure the length and width of the square unit next to square A. Now, I'm not going to use my ruler because I've put this and I've changed the size of it, but I can tell you that this is an inch. It's these. Okay? So, what is the area of this square unit? How many inches? It's 1 square inch because this is 1 inch and this is 1 inch, and it's one group of 1, which makes 1. The area of this is just 1 square inch. It's just one of those tiles. It's 1 square inch. Now look at square A, this one. How many of those square inch tiles would fit if I was to lay them on my screen? Well, we've got 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. We can solve this 2 ways. We can say I've got 2 width, or 2 for the length, and 2 for the width. I've got 2 groups of 2, which makes 4 square inches. Or I can just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way finds you the same area. The area of square A is 4, and what's our unit? What are these called? Square inches. It's just like when I'm saying how many frogs, 7 frogs are still on the log. My unit is a frog. For finding the area, my unit on this problem is a square inch. Later on, you're going to have problems that deal with square feet and square meters and square yards. Those are much larger measurements. But for this, it's a square inch because this is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. Pretty cool, huh? Whoo, my. Now, this is not an inch. This is a centimeter. So it's like this cube, this square, but it's smaller. It's only 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So the length and width of this is 1 centimeter. So what's the area of this unit right here? Well, how many of these squares are there? 1. So the area of our unit is 1 square centimeter. Now, take a moment and figure out what's the area of this rug? Go ahead and see if you can figure it out. And if you figure it out one way, then I want you to try the other way as well. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Okay. Well, let's see what we know. We know that the width of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimeters. We know the length is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What, Pebble? How do I know that it's centimeters? Well, because we measured, and I had measured it earlier, so I'm just telling you have to trust me because I don't have a piece of paper in front of me. This is 1 centimeter. It's representing 1 centimeter. So this is representing 1 centimeter. So I can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I had it on a piece of paper, I could get out my ruler and I would measure and see that it's 5 centimeters. And then same for the length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centimeters. Okay, well, I have 5 rows of 7 centimeters. 5 times 7, and I'm going to just circle this so we don't get confused, equals 35. Or I could count them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. My area is not 35 centimeters because it's not 35 of just the length. It's 35 of these boxes. And what are we calling those boxes? Square centimeters. So it's 35 square centimeters. Now, if I was with you in person, we would have this printed out. I would have centimeter squares and we would be laying them out. We'd be touching them and counting them. But I can't do that through the TV. It's a little harder to do. So we're doing it just on the paper. But know that that may be something you do in class with your teacher. So let's take a look here. Now, we don't know the unit for this. They haven't told us what our unit equals. So we just call it square units because they haven't told us if this is a centimeter or a foot or a yard or an inch. We don't know. So we're just calling it square units. Now, it's not a rectangle anymore. How could we figure it out? Because I can't just do length times width anymore because now we've got this little piece here. What could we do? Yeah, count the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's the area? 10 square units. Ta-da! It's that easy. Pretty nice, huh? Okay. Go ahead, solve. How many square units? Okay. Well, this is 3. This is 3. This is 3. You know what I heard someone say? Well, it's not lined up like a rectangle, but look, I've got 3 groups of 3, and I know 3 times 3 equals 9. You're right, it does. How many square units? 9 squares. 9 square units, where we are actually counting the square units. When we're measuring the area, we are actually counting a bunch of little squares or a bunch of very large squares, depending on what we're measuring. Because if it's square meters or square miles, think about how big that is. 1 full square mile, I can't even represent that here. It's a really big measurement. But we could say that these were square miles. That would be representing a very large space, wouldn't it? So, how is finding the area of a rectangle shape like finding the area of the non-rectangle shape? Yeah, both of them were counting the square units the shape covers. Very good. Okay, I want you to find the area of this rectangle. How are you going to do it? We're just calling them square units. And I want you to find the area. Ready? Go and make sure you can explain it with something on your board or with words. Okay, there were 2 ways you could have figured this out. You could have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and counted them. Or you could have said, this is an array. And I see 2 groups of 6. And I know that equals 12. So the area is 12 square units. That's how we write square units. Or you can write out square units. Both ways we figured out it was 12 square units. Nice job. Now, today for your homework, you're going to do more of the same. You're going to be counting the area of these shapes. But if you look to the right to that pink one, there's something wrong with that. And you need to talk about, is that how you can figure out the area? Do the units have to be the same size if we're counting one shape? Something to think about. So, page 309, 310, finding the area, and that's your homework for today. Now, your learning check. Today we learned how to use square units to measure the area of rectangles and non-rectangle shapes. We identified the square unit, we counted the number of square units that covered the shape, and we explained the importance of all units being the same size and shape, right? They have to all be the same size and shape. If they're different sizes and shapes, then we're not measuring accurately. It'd be like taking this ruler and measuring half of the length of a board with inches and then flipping it over and measuring the rest of it with centimeters. And then would we know how long it is? It'd be really confusing, wouldn't it? So that's what we did today. Now, before I let you go, you need to get ready for your time with Miss Oslin. You're going to have a break. You need to make sure that you have your learning packet, your learning buddy, and your whiteboard and marker. Then you're going to take a break, and then you'll come back for your time with Miss Oslin. Have a great Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow, third graders. Bye.
Hi, kids. Welcome to Jurassic Parkour. Walk with me. Today, we are going on an adventure. We are going to be hiking and running in search of a hidden waterfall. But be warned, there will be dinosaurs. These are the rules. 1, keep moving. We will be alternating between hiking and running, but don't stop. If you can't run or walk, try finding other parts of your body you can move. Whenever you hear Dr. Malcolm say,
"Must go faster,"
you go faster. Don't stop until we make it to the waterfall. Have fun.
"Must go faster."
Let's run! Look out for those dinosaurs.
"Must go faster."
This way.
Go faster! Whoa, that was a close one. Good job, you guys. Keep up the good work. Look out for those dinosaurs. Come on, keep going. Oh, good job, you guys. You're working hard. Whew. Keep up the good work. We can make it. Whew. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. We're almost to our rest spot. Good job. Whew. Good job, you guys. Now it's time for a little break. Slow down and let's go at a walking speed. Good job. Look how beautiful this forest is. Boy, this fresh air does feel good, doesn't it? Good job, you guys. You're awesome. Keep up the good work. But get ready.
Must go faster.
Oh no! More dinosaurs! Look out! Look out, guys! Start running! Good job! Get in the herd, you guys, and keep running! Don't fall down! Stay on your feet! Good job! Keep up the good work! Let's make it to the forest!
Must go faster.
Run, guys, run! First dinosaurs, now volcanoes? Oh, come on. We can do it, though. Let's go. Keep going. We got this. Whoa. To the trees. Whew. Nice job, everybody. We made it to another safe spot. Wow. Look how pretty this water looks. Boy, I could go for a swim. We're getting closer to the waterfall, so keep up the good work. All right, here we go. Get ready. Catch your breath. All right.
Must go faster.
More volcanoes! Run! Whoa! Whoa! Come on, we can do it, guys!
Must go faster.
All right, here we go, guys. Keep working hard. You are all doing awesome. You're superstars. This is when we start getting tired, but we're getting closer to the waterfall. So keep working hard, keep moving, and we're gonna make it. Whoa! Good job. I'm proud of you. Whoa! Good work. We got this. Whoa. Whoa. This has been the wildest hike I've ever been on. Whoa. But I know we can outrun these dinosaurs. You all have been working hard.
Did we lose it? No.
All right. We got this. Whoa. He's getting a little bit close. Keep running.
Hit the brakes.
Whoa. Look out for these ones with the spiny tails. Whoa! Whoa!
Must go faster.
Whoa! Great job, class. Final stretch. We're almost to the waterfall. Just move as fast as you can. We got this. Come on, run. Whoa! There's the waterfall. We gotta jump. Get ready. Here we go. Here we go. Get ready to jump. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Nice job, everybody. We made it. Boy, did that waterfall feel good. Now, we're gonna have a little bit of a warm down. We're gonna walk nice and easy to catch our breath and let our heart rate drop down and let our lungs get more oxygen into our body, because that was a lot of hard work. You are all superstars. Thank you for joining me on this amazing Jurassic parkour hike through the woods. Good job, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, third graders. Welcome back from your break. An excellent job gathering your materials, being ready to learn. Now, let's remind ourselves of our 3 personal standards. Our 3 personal standards are the way we behave and the decisions that we make when we come together so that everyone feels safe thinking and speaking so that we can then be stronger readers and writers. Let's say these together. Show respect, make good decisions, solve problems. We're going to focus really on that show respect today, and we're going to pull that out as part of our affirmation at the end of our lesson. Okay, you know we have been working on biographies. That's right, we've been reading and writing biographies, and we learned about selecting a subject. We learned about doing research on that subject and gathering information. We learned about how authors of biography also include the important people, friends, family members, colleagues that were around our subject. We learned about pulling out important quotes. We learned, oh my gosh, we have done so much work. We learned about writing in order of time, chronological order. We learned about having a strong opening to our biography so that our reader really wants to keep reading and gets excited and knows how you feel about your subject. Now, today we're going to learn that every biography ends differently depending on the reason behind the writer's choice of their subject. So we've talked about the beginning. You've worked on the body. Those are the paragraphs with the big ideas and the supporting details. Today, we're going to focus on the end of your biography. And we're going to go back and reread a couple of the biographies that we have read together, focusing on the end and how the author chose to end their biography, depending on the reason for the writer's choice of their subject. Did they choose their subject because they were a person who ignited a cause and created change? Were they a person who was an explorer or an inventor and created new things for our world? I don't know. Let's get reading, thinking about that. And then while you're reading about how our author chose to end their biography, you need to think about how you as an author are going to end your biography depending on why you chose your subject. Here we go. In your ELA packet, you will find on page 25 this chart called Ways to End Biographies. And you don't need this right now because I have pictures of it that we will use, but this you will use when you're doing your independent work today, thinking about how you could end your biography. Now, we're going to look back at Mother to Tigers by George Ella Lyon, and we're going to reread the last couple pages, thinking about how our author chose to end this biography. Before Helen arrived, no tiger born at the zoo had ever survived. She raised 27, along with yapoks, marmosets, gorillas, and chimpanzees, deer, and ring-tailed lemurs. She still took cubs home too: lions, tigers, jaguars, and a black leopard. Helen's cubs had cubs that were sent to zoos all around the world. The idea of the nursery spread too. So wherever you live, when you go to the zoo, look hard at the mighty cats. Their grandparents may have opened their eyes on Old Kingsbridge Road, may have learned to walk in that apartment kitchen, saved by Helen Frances Teresa Delaney Martini, mother to tigers. Now, if we look really closely at our chart on page 25, we can see that the title of our biography was Mother to Tigers by George Ella Lyon, and the type of ending explains how the subject's influence and spirit continue and why the subject is important to the world. And the author chose to end this biography in that way because the subject that they chose was really influential and had a spirit of taking care of animals, and how they wanted to express how their subject influenced and continues to influence the world today. So we can clearly see how our author feels about the subject. They even use the word saved tigers. And so this is why our author ended their biography in this way. You might want to end your biography in a similar way if you have strong feelings about how your subject influenced or continues to influence the world around us today. Let's look at another biography. Elizabeth Leads the Way, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and the Right to Vote. And we're going to look at the end of this biography and notice how our author, Tanya Lee Stone, chose to end the biography based on the purpose of choosing this subject. Now, the last page reads, "Word of the meeting spread like wildfire. Newspapers across the country scolded Elizabeth for her boldness, but other women joined her in battle. The idea of women having the right to vote began to buzz in the ears of people from Maine to California. Elizabeth had tossed a stone in the water, and the ripples grew wider and wider and wider. Many said Elizabeth must be stopped, but she was unstoppable. She changed America forever." Now, Tanya Lee Stone not only tells us why Elizabeth was so important to the world, but she also describes some of Elizabeth's attributes. She goes back to that list of attributes words that she used in a graphic organizer, just like we did, and reviews and explains how her journey started and how it ended. And because Tanya discusses how tough Elizabeth's childhood was, yet how successful she was as an adult, we can really understand how determined and passionate Elizabeth was about her cause. That's why we thought about the challenges and struggles that our subjects had to face, so we can better understand why they did what they did. You may choose to continue to describe the attributes of your subject and explain why the subject is important to our country, just like our author of Elizabeth Leads the Way did about Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Now, our last book that we are going to look at the ending of is a picture book of Cesar Chavez by David A. Adler and Michael S. Adler. We're going to reread the last page and pay close attention to how the author chose to end this biography. In April 1993, Chavez died in his sleep while on union business in Arizona. American farm workers had lost their greatest champion. In accordance with his wishes, he was buried in a simple pine box. More than 40,000 people marched in his procession. 1 year later, Helen Chavez accepted the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, for her husband. At the ceremony, President Bill Clinton said, "This remarkable man, with faith and discipline, with soft-spoken humility and amazing inner strength, led a very courageous life, and in doing so, he brought dignity to the lives of so many others and provided for us an inspiration for the rest of our nation's history." Now, our authors, David A. Adler and Michael S. Adler, used a powerful quote to express the attributes and influence of their subject. You might choose to go back and look at some of the quotes that you found about your subject, either by your subject or the people around them, and you might choose to include that in your ending. That's a really powerful way to end a biography. Now, as you go off to do your independent work, I want you to consider the different ways to end biographies. And we didn't read all of these books, but I'm still going to read the type of ending for the books that we didn't read so that you have some ideas that you can use to end your biography. You could explain how the subject's influence and spirit continue why the subject is important to the world, just like George Ella Lyon did in Mother to Tigers. You could explain why the subject is important to the world. You could, like we discussed with Tanya Lee Stone, describe the attributes of the subject and explain why the subject is important to our country. Or you could use powerful quotes to express the attributes and influence of the subject. Now, let's focus on your work. I want you to consider possible ways to end your biographies. Right now, I want you to read through your draft, read through your graphic organizers, look at your quotes, look at your attributes, look at your outline that's in chronological order, reread your opening, and think about how you want to end your biography. Use this chart to help you, and use the mentor texts that we have read to help you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes right now of independent time to read back through all of your work, and then you're going to have some time to do some thinking and some speaking about ways to end your biography. Go ahead. About 30 more seconds. Okay, now that you've had an opportunity to read back through your draft, your quotes, your chronological order, thinking about why you chose your subject, I want you to think about, how do you think you are going to end your biography? Are you going to explain how the subject's influence and spirit continue and why the subject is important to the world, like George Ella Lyon did in Mother to Tigers? Are you going to explain why the subject is important to the world? Are you going to describe the attributes of your subject and explain why the subject is important to our country? I'm noticing a theme here, a lot of explaining why. Are you going to use powerful quote to express the attributes and influence of your subject? Or are you going to do a combination? Take some think time. And turn and tell your learning buddy how you are going to end your biography. Go ahead. All right, now that you have a plan for what you're going to do for your independent work, I want to remind you that every biography ends differently, and it depends on the reason behind the writer's choice of their subject. As you go do your independent reading today, focus on how the author of your biographies that you are reading chose to end their biography. Pay close attention to, are you understanding what you're reading at the word level or the entire text level? And if you're not, if you find your mind start to think about something else, or if you find that you can't picture in your mind what it is that you're reading, use this chart to help you and use a strategy to help you figure out and better understand what you're reading. Also, pay close attention when you're reading today. Are you focused? Is your mind paying attention to what you're reading? And if you find that in the middle of your reading, you're not thinking about what you're reading, use one of these strategies to help you stay focused. Also, continue adding to your reading log, and you're going to send this to your teacher at the end of the week after tomorrow so that they know what you're working on and whether or not you are focused, and show them how you are rebuilding your independent reading stamina. Now is time for our affirmation. This is the time at the end of our show where we get to remind ourselves the positive in ourselves, because we all have good and positive in us. And I said we're going to focus on showing respect. So I want to remind you that even if and when, because it's going to happen, you have a different point of view or a different feeling or understanding of a situation from someone else, you can still be respectful about it. In fact, you should be respectful about it. That doesn't mean that you're not asking questions. It just means that you're using respectful language and a respectful tone to better understand someone's point of view. So let's remind ourselves, I am respectful. Say that with me. I am respectful. Excellent job reading and thinking and writing with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow in our TV classroom. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.